listen-only mode.
All right. Good morning, traders. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of another week. It's almost May. When we next talk, it's May. How is it May already? Like, it's insane how fast this year is going to me. Crazy. Welcome to the Tradespoon live trading room, stocks and options closing bell. My name is Scott. I will be your host. Let's wax philosophically about the market. I sound distant. Let me, yes, there's a reason why. Oh, my microphone is not getting picked up. Hold on. Very interesting. Hold on. Use new hardware. It's not new hardware. It's there. How about now? Any better? Perfect. Bill, thank you. Thank you. The fancy schmancy microphone. I even mounted it to my desk. It has like an arm. It comes out. It's pretty fancy. I'm just saying. Good morning, LK. Good morning, Phil. Thank you. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, John. Who came in? Mark, is that you? Someone came in without a name that's saying hello. Tell me who it is. This is me trading for a while, teaching for a while. Yes, my slides reset. Good. I've got it. It's good to see you, Mark. Hi, Carmen. Good to see you. Here's the disclosures. Be careful. Trading can be risky. We're not advisors. This is for education only. Yada, yada. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Oh, Bill said he thought my wife put me in a barrel. She probably wants to most of the time. She actually is at the airport about to go to Switzerland. Well, she's going to San Francisco to hook up with her two sisters and mom, and then they're going to a little girls' trip to Europe. Very exciting. I'll stay home, do yard work. Futures are down a little bit. Oh, this is an interesting one because it's like there's some great earnings announcements coming out. And then there's also some there's definitely some concerns out of the financial sector, right? Another bank looks like it's on the verge of collapse. People are like, we should bail it out. I don't know. I think they've had their bailouts. I think at this point, if a bank is going to fail, the FDIC protects deposits. Other banks will buy up assets and loans and let the market prevail. U.S. officials lead urgent rescue talks for First Republic. The stock is up. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Where's the urgent rescue talks for people who are in bankruptcy issues? They're not there. But yeah, Meta was strong, Microsoft strong, Alphabet. I mean, there's been some good stuff out of tech. Exxon delivers a record first quarter profit on higher output. Chevron tops estimates. Of course, energy, they're doing pretty well. What else? Good for me to send my wife. Means I'm making money. Yeah, Carmen. She takes it. She better bring me a good souvenir. I don't know. What do you get for souvenirs from Switzerland? An army knife. I want an army knife. Swiss Army knife or a Rolex, whatever. Pick one. Cigars. Good pastries. Apfelstrudel. Yeah. There you go, Mario. He knows. Cheese. That's right, Bill. Swiss cheese. Give me some Swiss cheese. Or a Swiss bank account. Those are good ideas. I wouldn't mind a souvenir Swiss bank account. Oh, okay. I'm getting off topic here. Growth slowed yesterday. We saw that. While inflation accelerates. Oh, I didn't see that. We better look at those numbers. Did we have accelerating inflation numbers? Was that this morning? Yes. Looks fine. 3%, 4.5. It doesn't look like it accelerated. Feels like we're still easing, and the Fed is going to give us a dovish last quarter point hike next week. I guess we'll see. Let's see how Stella sees it. Live trading room is in session now, in case you weren't aware. Stella's not liking this. She's shifting a little bit into more bearish. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's going to be a quarter of a point, but I see it as a dovish quarter point. I think they're going to give a quarter of a point and even say we're going to give it a rest for at least one, a break is 3 months, right? A break is 3 months. When they don't do anything, that gives them 3 months to evaluate approximately what's going on. So they're going to, I think especially as they watch this next bank in lifeline territory, they know that every quarter point is going to put a little more stress. Moody's identified 14 regional banks that one of them was actually here in Utah, and they came out and they're like, we're not, blah, 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 and they gave all the reasons why. But they showed reasons why there was concern. So, there's that. Okay. So a little bit more of a consolidation on the SPY. Let's go QQQ. QQQ, same kind of a thing. Little bit more. I told you already. I told you already that my market posture eased a little bit from 1 week. Still bullish, still slightly bullish, but it's definitely eased a little bit. Let's take a look at DIA. Very, very much correlated. Watch IWM, which has been our laggard, is gonna lead here. It does show a bullish pop and then an even bigger bearish drop. So I don't know. I would say overall, the model is definitely raising some concerns, right? Raising some concerns. We are now, good morning, Fred. Good to see you. We are now, market's going to open in 2 minutes. We're now moving into this period of time here, which I take that into account. That is sell in May and go away. The correlation's back to 40. It dropped for a while, but when you look at what it called for here and then what it did, and the fact that it's now pulled back a little bit in this consolidation, yeah. Are we going to see it grind out a little bit? Certainly, I'm open to that and paying close attention. Okay. Let's see what this thing does on open. We are, where's my time? Whoops. Where is my time? 30 seconds to open. Yeah, what an interesting last 3 days we've had. That's a lot of volatility right through there. But overall, now we didn't hold at this level here. But are we overall still kind of in what could be arguably an uptrend? Yeah, we got a turn on our stochastics. We bounced yesterday. Look, it bounced. We opened down a little bit. If you got a signal yesterday, the fact that we're down 0.19% is not a, oh, well, then I can't take the trade. Of course we can. Right? Of course we can. Sorry, give me 1 second here. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so do we have bullish signals? Well, let's get into the watch list and see what we think. Apple, I told you we were looking for Apple. Apple gave a signal. Hopefully you got it. If you anyone in Apple with me? Apple was early yesterday on the open, or at least close to it. We had our turn coming out of this consolidation. You've got 4 days, right? You've got 4 days until yeah. 4 days until earnings. AMD, nothing there. Amazon, nothing there. What did we get? Okay, the earnings came out. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting one. Amazon actually looks okay. If at any point you're concerned, you have the ability to move into a Heikin-Ashi and use that type of a perspective to give you a little bit different look. ANET. Oh, this is the wrong watch list. Sorry. I'm on the wrong watch list. Where is our? There we go. Alcoa. Nothing in Alcoa. Apple's still a good trade. Apple still looks great. If you're not thinking about Apple, you should be. Adobe. Nothing there. ADI. No. ADM. Well, I'll tell you what, Archer Daniels really kind of took it on the chin on earnings. I was liking it a little bit if it could have come out of that, but it sure didn't. AMD is a no. Amazon is still in line with what I would want to see. It's close. AXP, there's not much in the financials yet. Maybe, but not yet. Same with industrials. Nothing from Boeing. Anyone else having like weird lags with their Thinkorswim this morning? It's like just everything's a little slow to advance, a little slow to load. I feel like it's a little wonky. Yes. Caterpillar does not look great. Oh, look at this CMG burrito factory. They killed it. They just are selling burritos every which way you look. Burritos for you, burritos for me. ConocoPhillips kind of hanging out down below. Costco, consumer. We know that consumer stocks, that's a definite signal. I like that. I think that looks like it's viable for today. Let's take a look at a couple of these using the model. I do think that Apple still has strength. Let's see if Stella agrees. Stella says, iffy. If I'm bullish and she's neutral, I can live with that. Let's see what she says about Costco. Sideways. Stella's picky today, it would seem. Cisco. I think Cisco needs to be bounced off the list. Yeah, Cisco, you're out. You are out. DBC hasn't stabilized yet. John Deere. Okay. So here's a judgment call. And here's why I say it's a judgment call. Because we said, when we get these, that's enough. This one was enough too. Enough for me to be like, ooh, look at the buyers. Now, the problem was on this one, the sellers are like, hell no. They pushed it all the way back down. No, it's not happening. And this time the buyers came in and they did it again. They're like, we're going to make a charge. And this time the sellers are like, probably not. I was thinking if it only came down to like this 380 mark, maybe through here, and then it turned, that higher low for me would be like, that's enough. The problem is we're getting that setup right there. That's a nice looking setup. Is this enough of a higher low? It's barely a higher low, but it is a higher low. So in that regard, you would have to decide, is this something I'm willing to trade? Because if it gets another one of these runs, that's a nice move back up here to 400. That's 27 points. Can I risk 9 to make 27? Get a 3-1? Probably. Or close to it. Right? 374. I could put my stop at 365. 9 points for 27. But do we believe that industrials is showing enough bullishness? Question number one. Do we believe that John Deere is going to lead the industrials on their next charge up? That's question number two. That's where your judgment call comes. There's no like, does it meet the rules? Technically it does. Does that mean it's a guaranteed trade? No, it doesn't. We still have to run it. Right? We still have to run it. Let's see what Stella thinks about John Deere. Out of curiosity, catch me up. on what you've been doing with Vlad. Have you been trading a lot, a little, more, less? Has it been bullish, bearish, neutral? What's not much? Vlad's still a little bearish. I get it. I mean, I've got no arguments. Mostly earnings trades, right? It's tough. I feel like we did okay bullishly, you know. What was I looking for? Stella. Stella is on John Deere. Oh, look at Stella. Stella says a bounce now. It's a bounce followed by a pullback, but still. Quick little hits now on earnings play, call side. Yeah. Also look at Caterpillar. You know, we saw Cat. They're very similar, you can see, right? But I kind of feel like in the setup that we have, I like Deere better. But they're pretty close to sixes, quite honestly. They're not. This one has a much longer shadow. You're not going to get in here and put your stop below this shadow. You'd have to just go with the body and live with it. I might do that anyways on the other trade. Diamonds. The diamonds. Let's see. Disney flat. Sorry, diamonds are flat. Disney is just kind of sideways. It's a little bit of a basing pattern. I mean, you can see why there's just a little bit of a reluctance to commit to trades right now, right? It's just a little bit of a reluctance. Okay. FCX, I'm going to say not much there for us. FDX. Okay. FedEx, I like. FedEx held up. It looks like it's trying to turn. Yeah. Stella says Boeing is going straight up. How come you did not like the chart? Carmen asked. Great question, Carmen. Great question. Let me go back to it. The biggest reason why is that it is in a range-bound sideways trend. If I draw this line and this line, I'm going to encapsulate probably 80% of the price action in the last 6 months. I mean, it is at the low. It is holding a support level, and it does look like it's trying to turn. You just don't have any trend. So if you look at it and say, you know what, it's sideways, but Stella likes it, okay. I mean, you're asking for it to do something it hasn't done, which is break 215. It tried for just a minute back here in February, and it couldn't do it. So that's what I'm looking for is what's the prospects? If this thing does take a turn, if I only have a move to here, that's not much, especially if I have a stop down here, right? So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a balance of the two. For my standard analysis, it's just not as much there. Okay, so FedEx, I liked FedEx. I like Costco. Why can't I? There we go. FXI, kind of down. Gold, not really. Google, it's got a lot of things just meandering. I think Goldman, it looks like it's going to be a leader in the tech sector, but there's just not much there now. IWM, small caps, trying to show a signal. Jets, trying to show a signal. So we do have things that are at support levels. The problem is that there's support levels that are slightly lower than prior. So there's a little bit of a like, ooh, the sellers seem to have pushed it a little bit more. And we have kind of sideways trends going into it. So we're a little bit, right? We're a little bit feeling just in a bit of a quagmire. Fred said, why not look for trades to the downside? Because I'm not bearish. I don't have much bearish perspective right now. And because a lot of what we're seeing, like if now here's the deal, Fred, if you have a trade that has downward momentum, meaning the bears are in control and it's at or near. So here's a simple way for me to phrase it. For me to trade bullishly, I want to see bulls in control. I want to be at or near support. Those are the two primary factors for a bullish trade. Bulls in control. How do I know that? I don't know anything. I think I know that by seeing trend, higher highs, higher lows. When there's strength, it's on the buying days. When there's volume, it's on the buying days, etc. So that's important. The same thing to the downside. Bears in control at or near resistance. My stochastics cannot be down oversold. It's got to be overbought. I can't be like, oh, it's kind of, I don't want to buy something that just made a huge, strong move. Because I'm a little worried. I have a rule that says I don't sell strength and I don't buy weakness. So, right? If you're thinking bearish, what are you looking to do? Sell weakness, buy strength. Sell weakness, buy strength. I don't want to trade just for the sake of trading. Oh, look at MasterCard. MasterCard looks pretty good, right? It came off earnings. It's a tough one, but if you wanted to trade it, I believe you will find yourself a nice Heikin-Ashi candle. So if I were going to make this trade, I'm going to trade it as if I was catching this day right here or this day right here. I'm thinking I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 to 8 days. Target would probably be up near 390, right? Up in this area, high 380s. Stop loss would be just below, let's call it 369.50. So you got about $5 of risk and 15 to the upside. I like that actually. Credit has been one of the stronger areas of financials in trying to lead the recovery. MasterCard, Visa, American Express. MasterCard has been a leader. That is a viable trade for today to carry through the weekend. Everything about that looks pretty good. Volatility is way low. Options are cheap. You know what? I don't usually do a morning trade. We might come back. That's the one I like the best so far. Let me see if Stella likes it. Stella's, she's a little bit morning grumpy right now, perfectly honest. She's been like, I don't like it. I'm like, what about this? And she's like, I don't like it. I'm like, what about MasterCard? She's like, I don't like it. She doesn't like it. She is definitely showing concern. I like it enough that I'd still probably take it. Options are cheap. Volatility bled off. You'll notice that. Look at that bleed off on the vol from the earnings. Ooh, we went from a 28, 27 down to 20. These options are way cheaper than they were. Much better. Let's finish the list and come back. McDonald's did not have much of a consolidation. That consolidation didn't last long. That's how it is sometimes with a grinder. Yeah. Meta gapped up, holding up, but there's no trade there for us. Marvell, nothing there. Microsoft still holding on to all those gains. We're not going to have a trade until this thing consolidates a little bit. Netflix, yeah, Netflix is a maybe. Netflix is kind of showing us some things. Nvidia, yeah, can't make up its mind, in a bit of a basing pattern. Oracle looks pretty good. I'd say Oracle's viable if you were looking for something like that. QQQ. Now, if in another day or so this thing doesn't move any higher, Fred, 1, 2, 3. If I'm at resistance, this thing gets up in here and rolls over, and we roll off of this, then maybe I would try to get half of it down here, and then try to get a little more down here. But that hasn't happened yet. John, good you're back. Looking at MasterCard as a possibility, actually. Starbucks looks good, but it's overextended. We got to wait. Semiconductors are losing steam. I don't love that for technology. SPY. Well, we've gone into positive territory. Tesla's looking like a dog. UNG, every time I'm hopeful about a trade, it doesn't come. UPS has gotten beat up. Looks like a dead cat bounce forming. Now this is one that if I was like, if big drop to the downside, if this rally doesn't get much further and then rolls over, this comes up, rolls over, that is weakness. And I would sell the weakness. Visa looks good too. Take your pick. Visa and MasterCard. It's a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Those are both strong. Yeah, I think either one of those would work. The VIX, look at how strong the VIX looks. Whatever else has gone on, the VIX has been just a beacon of hope. Everything looks good in here. Looks good. Looks like, looks like we're ready to bust down into the 15s. Haven't been there for a while. Verizon, a little overbought. XLI Industrials are there. You can see they're trying. Consumer Staples looks pretty good. XLY. And Yum. Yum looks pretty strong still. I'm looking for that. We'll see how it does coming through earnings. Let's go look at MasterCard and Visa. Okay. MasterCard volatility is very low. I don't know. I might even like Visa better, quite honestly. I'd like Visa better. I don't like, here's why. If you're, people are like, well, why, Scott? Why do you like it better? I don't like that big ass candle with that big ass tail. Sorry, it's Friday. You get the big ass Friday. I like a little less volatility here. I still will have a Heiken Ashi. No, I don't. Ooh, so there's a little difference. This one already has it. I think it's a day ahead. I think we can get in and then make the adjustment. Volatility is very low here as well. I think I could get my stop at like 227.50, 230. Not a lot of risk. I think looking for maybe even like 240. No, maybe not. Let's see. 224 to so 10 points. 238. I'm gonna go 238. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. I think 3 weeks is enough. I'd hold it through this weekend, but I wouldn't hold through next weekend unless it was still working. So I would probably set my date out to next Friday. And if I go for the 235s, and we said 238 on the upside, 227.50 on the down. Oops, let's reverse that. 238, 227.50. Yeah, we're getting 3-1. We're getting 3-1. 2 contracts, about 200 of risk. Let me see. Visa 170. Oh, they're a little higher. 175, I think we'd be able to get. That's not great. Still a 3-1. I'm going to try to get 165 on 2 contracts. And just let that sit through the day. I'm because we're putting the order on, we can be a little bit more patient. What's the order on Visa? The order for me was a May 19 235 call at a limit of 165. I went 2 contracts. I'm looking at about 200 of risk for about 600 in gain. That's the order. You could do any variation. I mean, that's basically, this is the momentum trade. We're looking for a week. If by next Friday it hadn't finished but was still bullish, maybe I would carry it through. But I would expect this to do, let me put the levels up. Yeah. Let me see. I'm going to set these up. Wait a second. Yeah, 227.50 and 238. And let's go. Boom. There it is. That's what I'm looking for right there. I'm looking for a little bit of a pullback to get me into the trade. I want to be patient and not get too much into that, but yes, this is what we're looking for. So If I get that $1.65, then I have what I'm looking for. Okay, stop on the downside, 227.50. Yep, those are the numbers. I'm just going to let it saturate, let it sit, right? Let it sit and see what happens. So, okay. Okay, let's see how the market's doing now. So we're flat. We're flat. Now, here's the thing. Even if, or let's just say if this market, with this, what happened here, if we went up and it just sort of stalled out a little bit, and then it pulled back, and then it gave a higher low over here, that's bullish for me. I would trade that. I would think we're going to bust. Now, of course, at any given time, we know that it could stall. The whole thing could just stall out, right? But as of right now, yeah, I think that if there's a trade starting to come, and this would be something maybe next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, especially if we do grind just a little bit higher up and that VIX does come down to 15, 16. At this point, with the VIX back near 15, 16, I'm thinking calendar spreads are on the table for summer sideways moves. So that is something that I'm going to be looking at doing. Yeah, there you go. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? We went through the watch list. There's a few things setting up. There's not a lot to the downside. I mean, we're very much just kind of grinding it out. So if you're not comfortable, I would say look into calendar spreads, butterflies. Start learning some neutral trades. Now's the time. If you've only done directionals, open up the possibilities to some neutral trading, delta neutral trading. It's a great way to complement and balance your portfolio, especially in a time like the summer when we're a little bit more concerned. Did I trade Visa, or is it's on? It hasn't traded yet. I'm waiting to see if I can get a little better fill. Some people might be like, I'm not waiting for a better fill, I'm just getting in. And if it takes off, they're in, I'm not. If they get in and it does a little bit of a pullback and I get the better price, well, then I'm a little better off. And so, that depends on how bullish are you, or how bullish are you on Visa? How many other trades do you have? The aggressiveness with which we pursue a trade can be very dependent upon our unique situations. So that's why I always say, hey, you gotta consider these trades from your perspective. Maybe you already have a financial trade on, and you're like, I like it, but I'm not gonna chase it too hard. Maybe you've been looking to put one on, and you're just like, I'm gonna put it on now, and I'm not gonna wait because I'm willing to take that. So those are the types of things that can, the subtleties and the nuances come not from my perspective, but from your perspective. So there you go. There you go. All right. Well, I hope the weather's good where you are. Trade your plan. That's it. I hope the weather's good where you are. I hope you can join me. I won't be back till Wednesday. It'll be May. It looks like a nice day here. 47 degrees, but sunny. Probably have plenty of good weather to do yard work this weekend. So that's what's on my agenda. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you Wednesday in the afternoon. And as always, happy trading.